Hello, Professor Toybox here, and I'm back in my Disneyland toy box. Today I'm going to build the central hub that connects the different lands in Disneyland, and I'm also going to build the iconic Sleeping Beauty Castle. And because I'm building Sleeping Beauty's castle, it seemed appropriate to bring Maleficent with me. And besides, if anyone needs a fun day at Disneyland, it would be Maleficent. She just looks downright mean, doesn't she? Maybe she should eat a Snickers bar or something. Anyway, let's get started, and I'm going to begin with this very short racetrack here. And just like we did down in the town square, I'm going to put two of those pieces here, and we're going to basically build the exact same shape for the center of the hub. So it's basically the same shape, and we're going to be doing something very similar in the middle of this for the little park-like area. And two more down here, just like that. All right, next, let's come down and pick up that partner statue, and you need to unlock this with a magic band. Which, by the way, those still work. So we'll place that right there. And then we're going to need some trees. So we'll come down to the plants drawer, and I'm going to use this Fantasy Terrain Corner 1. And I'm going to probably need to tweak where I place this. So for right now, let's just put these down. And then I'll style them. Of course, it might have been better to style it one time and then put it down. But we're going to use this corner with street lamps. And I'll go ahead and set that to be my theme, even though I don't think I'm going to be putting down any more of these today. And there we go. So that looks pretty decent. We do need to move these a little bit. So I'm going to move them over and up like that, I think. Yeah, that looks better. That way we have a consistent width here on this side. Well, I guess it's a little wider there, isn't it? Oh well, that's close enough. I'm not sure it looks good, though, having that little corner hanging out in the street. So I'd rather do it like that. Okay, and then for the trees in the park, we'll use this Fantasy Terrain 1. And I want to make sure I'm facing towards the castle. We're going to put the first one down here like this. And I'm going to rotate and put another one over here like that. And one over here like that. And one right there. And then we can go ahead and style these. And I'm going to use Farmer Mickey Terrain. And you can see when I style that, the bounding box gets bigger. So that's why I put those trees down like that before styling any of them. Or trying to set that to be my theme, because I need that to fit inside that little space. And there we go. So there's the hub, basically. And we'll build outward from there in the next few weeks here. But for today, we're going to go ahead and build in the castle now. So the first thing I want to do here is put in some water. And for this, let me just pull up my screenshot to make sure I place these blocks correctly. So the first one we're going to do, if we come down to the terrain drawer, is this small flat terrain block. And I'm going to place this right here on that corner and down one block. So it's sitting like that. We'll go ahead and place that. And for my water, I'm going to use the Alien Planet theme. Originally, in my video 14 months ago, I had actual water textured blocks sitting in here, but those take up a lot of extra memory. And so I was able to save a bunch of memory by doing it this way. And that's important to me because I wasn't the water quite so much that I was interested in as it was having more interesting things around the park and having the room to place those. And I'm going to go ahead and add a couple other pieces of water out here that look a little out of place, but you'll see why I'm doing this when we get there in another week or two. It's basically just filling in the edges of the water here. There's going to be stuff sitting on top of there and these outer pieces, and I didn't want there to be any gaps. All right, so there's our water. And now we're going to need to build out this hub just a little bit. So we're going to use this thin, tiny terrain block. I'm going to place this in here right like this. And for this, we're going to change the style now. And we're going to use the toy box terrain again. I'll set that to be my theme. And I'd like that to kind of line up a little bit, at least in the same direction as the other terrain. So we're going to orient it like that. All right, and then we're going to put down 3 of these. And we'll come over here and put down a couple of more. And then for the entrance to the castle, see, I might need a couple more yet, or one more yet over there. I'm going to put down 4 of those like that, and yeah, we'll need one more of these. Okay, so that builds out the terrain a little bit so that it doesn't end quite so abruptly. Next thing we'll do is put in the bridge to the castle. And for that, we're going to come up to the blocks drawer. And we're going to put this one centered just like that. And we're going to set the style on this to be the castle brick. I'll set that to be my theme. Come out of spark mode, and I'm going to need one more of those. Put that over there for right now, and I'm going to scroll to the right. And I'm looking for this archway. And I want that to be centered, and actually, yeah. All right, so we're going to need to move this back up. And I'm going to move that one over. And then we'll put down a couple of little square blocks over here, just to kind of widen that out. So there's the bridge to the castle, or the start of it anyway. And the next thing we'll do is put down the foundation for the castle, and then we'll finish off the bridge. So we'll come back down to the terrain drawer, and I'm going to come to this small and thin terrain block. And let me make sure I put this down in the right place here. Yep. So I'm going to drop this right here like that. And I'm going to come out of the editor, and I'm going to place down Rapunzel's Kingdom. And I do not want to switch my entire world to that theme. So I put that power disk down, and now I can come in and style this block. And that is going to be, I think, to the left, if I remember right. Yep, Rapunzel's Kingdom. And I'll set that to be my theme. And again, that provides just a nice flowery edge there that I really like. I originally had the foundation of the castle set up as just more of those blocks from the blocks drawer with the castle brick set, but that took up a lot of extra memory. And so this way, we have a lot less memory, and I think it looks a little better too. Those flowers just really make this nice. So again, for right now, I'm putting down the foundation for the castle. And you'll notice that almost lines up there with the back edge of that, but that's okay. Doesn't need to line up precisely. And there we go. That's the foundation for the castle. Now let's pick this piece up and put it down. And we're going to keep going right in the blocks drawer until I get to the large floor, which is this one. And for this, we're going to put this over here like that and line it up with the edge of this street. And actually, we're going to center that. I think that'll look better. So we'll go ahead and center, and then we're going to build out 5 of these across the bridge. And this will be the tunnel that goes into or under the castle gate. And originally I had this set up over here on the side with a bunch of these smaller blocks over here, but you really don't need those because the edge of this bridge is going to be covered up by railings here shortly. So we can save some extra memory by just going right down the middle of the bridge. And while I'm thinking of it, let's go ahead and put those in. So if we come up to the plants drawer and we go to the right, we're going to have to go past the topiaries. And I'm looking for these Asgardian foliage railings, because I like those. And we're going to go ahead and place them just like that. I think that'll look best that way. And then we can actually place this right here like that, which is kind of nice, because then there's no gap there really. And on this side, we're going to put down one of these, like this. Something is not quite lining up over there. Well, that's what we've got. Well, we'll put that down for right now. I'll take a look at that offline and we'll fix that next week. And then on this side, let's see, the best way to do this probably be to pick this piece up, put it back down, come back over to this corner, and I'm going to style it with that exact same texture, the City Park corner. There we are. So now there's the front of the castle starting to take shape. Now let's go ahead and put in the castle, and you'll find the castle pieces up in Building Sets Group 6. And if we go left, that's where we find those. And we're going to look for the castle entrance here for the first piece we're going to put down, which is this big one right here. And again, we're building Sleeping Beauty's castle, not Cinderella's castle, which is what this actually is. So we have to kind of make this work with the pieces that we've got. Now let me make sure I've got these in the right spot here. Hold on just a moment. Yep, that looks good. Okay, and then we'll come back over here, and I'm going to put the outline of the wall in next, I think. And we're using that one, I believe. We're going to line it up just like that. And then we need a corner, inside corner, which is this one. Put that one in there like that. And then we're going to add in the short castle wall, or nope, not that one. That one, castle rope wall. That gives the player a way to get up on top of the castle. And then we'll put down another corner with a tower. Let's see, it's the other way. And for this one, I kind of like that one. And I'm not going to go all the way to the edge of that block because I'm planning to put a little bit of trees there to kind of cover that up a little. All right, so then the next side, the other side rather, come over here. I'm going to use the exact same piece that I'm using over there, which means I need this one. And then once again, an inside corner. And a rope. And the corner. Just like that. Okay, so there's the outline for the walls. Now if we come over to, let's see, is it the left? Yeah. We have these castle floors. And we're going to go ahead and fill in this with the castle floor. I'm not sure which way it necessarily matters how that goes. But I'm going to put a row of these across the back of this. And then we'll fill in that middle section. And actually, before we fill that middle section in, right now that passageway underneath the castle goes right into the drink. So let's come down to the blocks drawer, and we're going to put down a large block wall. I'm going to place this right up here like that, and that will cover up that opening. And just to make it look like it actually goes somewhere, we'll style this, and I'm going to use the blacktop. And so now when you look at that from this side, kind of looks like there's a hole through there. And it looks like it might actually go somewhere. So I like that. Okay, then we'll go ahead and pick up one of these, put it down, and we'll finish filling in this floor up here. And exactly how this goes doesn't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and slide over here, and then we'll use the smaller piece under here where it'll be mostly covered up with buildings. Alright, so there's the floor for that level of the castle. And then I'm going to come back over here to the wall, and we're going to put down just kind of a finishing edge for the wall, mainly so that the player, if they happen to come back here, it doesn't look completely unfinished. And if you want, you can put a couple of extra terrain blocks under there. I chose not to, just because I wanted to save memory on my Wii U. All right, so there's the first layer of the castle. We have the walls and a floor on which to build. So the next piece we're going to put down is the house. And for that, let's see, I think it's off to the left. Yep. So this piece right here. And we're going to orient it just like you're seeing here. But I'm going to put this off to the side a little bit, like that. Because I need to leave room for a tower. And I want to make sure... Okay, I think that's the right positioning. Because we don't want it butting up right against that front tower. We need a little bit of a gap there. There we go. And then this archway is going to sit right up here, just like that. Yeah. And I think it looks the same on either side, so it doesn't really matter exactly where that goes. And then I'm going to need a square tower. We'll put this off over here on the side of this. And it doesn't really matter. That side doesn't have the black window. That one does. Then you have brick, and both of those sides look pretty much the same. So it doesn't quite matter. I'm going to use this side just because I kind of like having those windows out in the front. And it doesn't really matter which, if you want to set that back a little bit or you want to bring it forward. I'm kind of looking at that little bridge section there on that upper area and thinking it might go like that. So that looks pretty good. And then for the next level of house, come back over here and pick up this long archway. We're going to put this right behind that one. And I want to get it as close as I can. And I want to make sure it's centered. And mainly there I'm looking for that roof. So that it looks like there's the roof there. I don't really care what it looks like from the side as much as I do the front. Because that's what you're going to see when you're looking down the road from Main Street. All right, and then not that tower, that one. We're going to put this right here. And I want to turn this so that it's kind of pointing the same direction as those other flags, especially on the front of the castle. And they're pointing to the right. So we're going to put that there like that. And actually, I had that brought forward a little bit because it needs to sit on that little narrow ramp of brick there. So there's that tower. And then for the tower in the back, we're going to use this taller one. We're going to set this, let's see. Kind of want the same amount of ledge going around the left and bottom around that tower as you see there. So we'll place that there like that. And then we've got another tower off to the right. And for that, I'm using this one. So this sits down here like this. And can't go, I think it's better to go that way. And there we are. Sleeping Beauty's castle. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and just do a couple of quick finishing touches and then we'll wrap this up. So on the sides over here, we're going to come back down to the plants drawer. Oops, one more. And we're going to put down this Fantasy Terrain 3. I'm going to put this right back here in the corner. And I want to orient it with that little sprig of tree in the front there on the left. And we'll pull it out away from the back. So yeah, I don't want it right on the back. Put it like that. And then we'll style this. And I'm going to use the Sleeping Beauty tree. Just like that. And then on the other side of the castle, we're going to use this Fantasy Terrain corner too. And this one needs to sit like this, but that's not the style I want. Once again, we'll do the Sleeping Beauty one, the Briar Ridge one. I'll apply that. And there we go. So now we have a tree sitting over there. All right, a couple little more finishing touches here. Go back up to Building Sets Group 6. We're going to add some flags, and I'm going to use the Dunbrock flags. And you can use any color you want. Blue is my favorite color, so that's what I'm going to put down. And we're going to place one over here like this, and one over there like that. And then we'll come over to the castle. And I'm going to put, let's see, do I want this out like that? Yeah. Another one like that. That adds kind of a nice little touch there. So that's good. And I think that's probably enough for today. We're approaching the half-hour mark here, so don't want to bore you, but let's go back down here to the town square and see what we got. Okay, hey, look at that. Now it's starting to look like Disneyland with the castle down there at the end of Main Street. So I like that. All right, next week I'll build the entrance to Adventureland and the Enchanted Tiki Room. Until then, I want to thank you for watching, and if you're enjoying this series so far, please give this video a like and leave a comment to let me know. I don't know if that does anything for YouTube, but it encourages me, so I appreciate it. And if you do like my videos and you haven't subscribed yet, just click my photo in the lower right corner of this video, and then you won't miss a single episode. That's all for me today. Have a great weekend.